Good afternoon. This is Kevin Conway with Chris-Leef General Agency. I'm the marketing manager with Chris-Leef. And today's topic is premium financing. And my guest today is Regional Sales Manager with IPFS, Davie Holt. Welcome, Davie.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Davie, for those who aren't really familiar with IPFS and what you guys do, can you share a little bit of knowledge about what your company does?
Yes, we are a premium finance company based in Kansas City, Missouri. We're actually the largest premium finance company in the country. We offer an ability for insureds to pay their bill through a premium finance loan distributed through insurance agencies.
What sort of requests are you seeing with IPFS from agents and insureds regarding COVID?
Yeah, great question. It's actually the primary function of our business right now. We're getting a lot of questions about how to help, how to handle everything, how IPFS can help. So some of the most common questions that we're getting come from two different sources. They'll come directly from our insureds, from the actual loan holders, and they'll come from our agent partners as well. Those questions are talking about their late fees that are assessed for missed payments or potential late fees that would be assessed if they miss a payment. They're asking about the possibility of deferred payments or extending grace periods. And then obviously the most extreme scenario saying, hey, I can't make my installment payment. Can we extend this policy into an extended cancellation or hold the cancellation from happening? Some of those are coming proactively from agents or from insured. Some of them are reactive. There's certainly a lot of news about regulatory stances that certain states are taking to extend cancellations and extend grace periods. So we are getting the questions from all angles, but that is what our team is equipped to handle is questions from insureds and questions from agents. We have two different functions there in terms of who we serve.
So how is COVID affecting your business?
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's certainly, we, just like every other company out there, we were able to pivot to a work from home environment pretty quickly. Our IT team did a fantastic job getting equipment and getting devices out to everybody. So in just a quick week, less than a week, our team was able to go work from home. That's all of our service staff, loan processing, our salespeople, IT. It was pretty amazing. In the beginning, we just responded the same way everyone else was, responding with empathy, trying to understand what this meant. I'd say we kind of have our feet underneath us a little bit now. We're certainly responding to all of the service requests that we're getting, as I kind of mentioned before in those questions, but how it's affected our businesses, some of it is we do have to kind of return to some sort of normalcy. So our sales executives certainly aren't seeing people. One of the hallmarks of IPFS, one of the things that sets us apart is being able to be in person and have a local rep. We haven't been able to see people. We're certainly meeting virtually and training virtually and selling virtually just like everyone else is. We certainly pivoted a lot more to service than sales right now, trying to make sure that everybody continues their business as possible. We're talking a lot about retention. It's prioritized our retention over some of our growth. But we're managing. We're still seeing new agents need premium finance, new insureds need premium finance. I think some industries are hurt more than others, because some industries are saying, hey, we're closing our restaurant, we're closing our bar, or whatever practice they have. But the good news is that whoever's asking for an insurance quote now, we're May 4th of 2020, is probably considering they're going to stay in business. And so maybe some insureds that weren't going to finance before are. So that's that's how it's affected our business. It's definitely transitioned to kind of an empathy, and it's shown us some of our strengths and our weaknesses as well.
Yeah, it kind of leads into the next question. Why would it be valuable for an insurer to consider premium financing right now?
Great question. Thanks for the softball. Yeah, no, I think cash is going to be even more prevalent right now for a balance sheet for a business than it has been. What we're seeing is we have agent partners that have had businesses that have never considered financing, never start to ask the question because they're realizing that with business closures and business interruption, that cash is needed to pay employees and pay bills. And even as the government has tried to respond with things like paycheck protection and things like that, The
Sure.
one thing that is king is cash reserves. And that's what financing an insurance policy can allow you to do. If you can finance your insurance policy, if something that you're legally required to have,
Right.
that'll free up that cash flow to pay a rent check, buy supplies, pay payroll, things like that. So we think that while some businesses are going to close or pause or close permanently,
Hmm.
um, even in those concentrations where businesses are staying open, that finance question is happening. At times, it's never happened before.
Sure. So as businesses continue to struggle, how can IPFS help insureds and agents during this period of uncertainty?
Yeah. So what I've kind of coined that is it's a kind of a three-party system. So
Okay.
it requires all of us to get together because not every situation is exactly the same. So IPFS went ahead and took some actions deliberately, try to be proactive here. So on March 29th, we made an announcement that we were waiving all late fees for premiums under $50,000. So that kind of addresses that late fee question for small businesses. And we said, hey, from March 15th to April 30th, we're not going to charge late fees on anything that's been assessed.
Hmm.
Another thing we did, which is different, and that I want agents to understand too, is that we've made a change to how we apply return premium. So when needed, agents can direct us to apply return premium credits or additional premium credits to the very next immediate installment on a loan, as opposed to spreading that out. In the traditional world pre-COVID, whenever we'd get return premium from a carrier, we'd spread it out on the entirety of the loan. If the insured needs us to is directing us to apply it right away, we can. And then we also have changed our grace period to 30 days past the installment due date as well. We proactively did that. So those solutions that we took proactively do address some of the questions that people will have or how to help. There are some scenarios, loans over $50,000, in states where the regulatory environment has said 60 days, 90 days, things like that.
Okay.
So that's kind of where this three-party system is what kind of I say we have to do is we have to get in on the same page with the agent and the carrier, because you have some situations where a business is saying, well, I got to make my insurance payment. But the reality is that business may not need the same level of coverage they had before because they have less employees, less gross sales, less receipts. And so there are some times where we've worked with the carrier to put a pause on the earnings schedule while there's an interruption in coverage because the business is closed.
Okay.
We've asked for agents to help us request through the carrier modifications to coverages, so reductions in premium, which then generates that return premium credit we can help apply, and then even modifications to the minimum earn provisions. And the whole reason we say we need the carrier involved as well is these regulatory changes where they say, hey, premium finance company, you can't cancel anybody's insurance. That sounds nice and it sounds like relief, but behind the scenes, what's happening is the money that we've sent off to an insurance carrier to pay somebody's insurance bill for them is still earning every day. And so literally our collateral in that process is completely being eaten up every day while the government or the locality or the regulator has said we can't cancel insurance for non-payment. And so that's why we all have to engage this together, because that is our collateral. That's how premium finance works at a macro level, is the money that's sent off to a carrier is the collateral for the loan.
Right.
And so without active participation on both the agent and the carrier's level, we are in a very tough position to have to hold cancellation and not cancel for non-payment. So that's why I always say, let's get together. Whether the request comes from the insured or from the agent, let's engage the carrier partner as well and see what concessions we make. Our goal is to make the concession and to be empathetic to the situation and make sure somebody doesn't lose their insurance if they need it.
Right.
We certainly found some scenarios where businesses have been completely shut down, where our recommendation was, hey, cancel your insurance. If you're not running your business, why are you still trying to make a payment? Get the return premium credit back, get it refunded, and restart your insurance once you've gotten back to work. So
Exactly.
engage us is the big thing. Call folks like that are me and my team on the sales staff. Call your operations staff, your account executives. We're happy to help and guide you through this process, because there are some different situations for sure.
Okay. And to that point, if an agent does receive an inquiry regarding additional payments, lower payments, or premium help, can you assist with that request?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
If that help isn't covered by some of the proactive measures we've taken, some of those late fee waves or extended grace periods or return premium credits,
Right.
if one of those is specific blanket actions hasn't been taken, engage your sales executive, your account executive. Insureds have a way to get in touch with us through their logins on IPFS.com. We know there are some specific examples that kind of fall outside that category. Again, we want what's best for agent partners too. We want to keep these folks in business with the insurance that's required by law, with the coverage that they need to keep moving. We just want to do it in a way that protects us as well and protects everybody else.
Okay, definitely makes sense. So Davie, the $1 million question: what can what can agents do better to help inform their clients regarding their insurance financing during COVID?
Yeah, I think that's you're right. That's the $1 million question. How can we help? Right. I'd say the first thing is understand your state, where the risk state of the insured is. That's a big one. Okay. So each state, insurance continues to be regulated at the state level, which I think we prefer, but each state continues and has been a little different as they've pressed out regulatory requirements on cancellations and grace periods. Obviously states like New York and things like that have pretty robust regulatory guidance through this COVID thing, because they're also most affected by the disease. So understand the risk state of your insured and what the current status is of the regulatory environment, number one. Number two, recognize that sometimes while we hear the word insurance, please remember that premium finance is a little different. And so we are kind of in what some of these regulation updates have taught us is that premium finance is kind of sometimes in a legal no man's land, because the regulatory update might affect the carrier, it might affect the insured or the agent. We've really had to push and lobby to make sure that they include premium finance or not in the regulation. So know your state, know where we fit as an agent, know where our role is. But the last thing is know that we can help. I mean, we know that even in a tough situation for us where our collateral is on the line, we've tried to take some steps to mitigate some of these losses, and then just proactively engage us. I mean, it's certainly sometimes it comes from the insured and it's the last minute, and it's a tough. These are emotional situations. These are people's businesses. These are people's lives. People are getting sick, but let us know, because we want to help proactively. If you've got questions, go to IPFS.com. We've got communication tools on there. Reach out to us, sales executives, account executives, branch associates. We've got incredible levels of communication out right now. And if you're thinking, just like in the premium finance world pre-COVID, if you got a goofy question, we're okay to field it. Same for now. If you got a weird question and you don't know, I always joke that as salespeople, half of our job is training and education. So
exactly.
Know that we're there. We're okay with trying to come up with a creative. We can't fix all of them, but we want to have a relationship with everybody where we certainly give it our best shot to try to help and try to fix problems as they come up.
It really sounds like you guys are really flexible and adaptable during this whole process. So that's really great.
We've had to be, because I think just like everybody's agency that's working from home, sometimes the regulatory or just the world can change every day. We've put out some kind of return to work goals or guidelines, but we all know that could certainly change at a moment's notice. So it's just it's like Groundhog Day. Every day's the same, but it's also a little bit different every day.
Right, of course. Davie, our time is just about up. I know we've only scratched the surface today, but this has been very informative. I would like everyone to visit our website at chris-leef.com. That's chris-leef.com. leaf.com. Leaf is spelled Leef.com for other hot topics and industry news. And once again, I would like to thank our guest, Davie Holt with IPFS, for joining us. And I want everyone to have a wonderful week. Thank you.